god!
The chain fell off again.
That's stupid. That is so stupid. Bye. What happened?
The chain fell off. It's quick! Oh shit! It went a whopping, don't be surprised by this, I know it's quick, 37 kilometers an hour. I'll put the conversion right here.
That's not fast at all.
I'm not impressed at all.
And the chain keeps falling off. That was like the third time since you took it out in the last 5 minutes.
We bought a gym.
Are you out of breath from pushing that?
Yeah. This is our wannabe Formula One car. It doesn't look like much. That's because it's not really much. I had somebody else pick it up for me, and trust me, if I'd seen some of the welds, I wouldn't have bought this. But there's something I couldn't just get past. With the recent coming out of Formula One Drive to Survive series on Netflix a couple of years ago, I've been hooked ever since. And something about having an open wheel car just made me bonkers. And when I seen this Formula body online, I told myself I could definitely do something with that. But now that I have it in my possession, I'm thinking, what can we do with that? The body of this thing just kind of pulls off. As you can see, everything looks like it was stick welded together, which if that's all you got, sure, but there's places where the stick welding was also accompanied by the grinding. And sure, that makes you a good welder if you can make it look clean, but this just looks like JB Weld. And if you notice, the gas pedal here actually has a wire. So it's drive-by wire because it is electric. Now this electric motor, I did test it, it's slow as shit. One thing I did notice, the chain tensioner's on the wrong side there. It's supposed to be on this side, just because of the way it pulls the bottom of the chain. It is one-wheel drive. And like I said, it's less than performance. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this thing out the way it sits, like this, the little depth trap, and we're gonna get a benchmark test in with the electric motor. 37 kilometers an hour. All right, that was definitely less than quick. That might be fun for like a 12-year-old or something, but I'm 13. Like the fact that we bought it like this and it doesn't run at all, not cool. But we're a fan of the Formula One series and not the Formula E series, so we gotta get rid of this electric motor. We'll keep it just in case we want to put it in something else. But I've got this engine. It's covered in trees and stuff, but it is a legitimate 13 horsepower Honda 390. I said I would never put a 420cc engine in something again. This is basically the same block. I think this is the engine we should use. It does have electric start. It is gonna make engine noises, so it's gonna sound like a real Formula One car if it had one cylinder and no turbos. So we've gotta somehow replace this axle because we're not gonna have one wheel drive. Put that engine in, and we have some bigger tires. So in the earlier Formula One seasons, even the one now, the tires in the rear were significantly bigger than the ones in the front. As you can tell, these tires are the same size. We're gonna go more traditional style. Put some meat in the back.
You do like your meat in the back.
All right, hear me out. You want a chance to win this welder? Every $1 spent at boostedlifestyle.com gets you one entry for this Everlast 185 welder. It's basically just a smaller version of the welder I have right here. You can do everything you want to do in the automotive world. You can do aluminum, you can do stainless, you can do mild, and it actually comes with the whole kit of stuff. It comes with your pedal, it comes with your torch, it actually comes with this plug to change it from 220 to 110, so you can run this thing on 110. If you want to use it as a stick welder, it comes with that as well. Nice strap to make it portable. Now I haven't uploaded a video in 10 days because I've been waiting for the sprockets for the mower, so I'm just extending this for 3 extra days. November 5th is the last day, and every entry now will be 2 times entries for the next 3 days, and then the giveaway's done. BoostedLifestyle.com, every $1 gets you 2 entries now. Oh Lord, I'm finding all kinds of gems today. All right, all this electric junk has to go. It can be used somewhere else, just not here. 37 kilometer an hour for friggin' 7,000 watts. One-wheel drive couldn't even do a one-wheel burnout. This might actually be a problem. 72 volt motor, 60 volt battery. So we're putting 60 volts to a 72 volt motor. That's probably half the problem right there. The controller was held in by one zip tie. The key was actually held in by more zip ties than the controller was. One 3/8 bolt, one 8mm bolt. Whatever was laying around the garage, man. Now we somehow got to fit this giant of an engine back here somewhere. This axle's no good to us since it's just a one-wheel axle. We're gonna cut this axle out right here. We're gonna put our new axle in there with the new bigger tires, which means it has to move back probably 3 inches to clear the fiberglass body panels. And then we're gonna have to rebuild this whole rear section here too to fit the new motor. And we're gonna do this the best way I know how, by just starting to cut it. That's our rear half gone. I was gonna try and leave this main little hoop there because I know that supports the seat backing. There was just too much stuff connected to it. I just cut the whole piece out. We get to start fresh from the back here now. I did notice while I was doing some cutting that the front half of this chassis is actually not that bad, besides these two little, this steering must have broke at some point and they re-welded it, but the front half of this chassis looks like it was pretty good welded, well, relatively good welded anyways. Enough that we can use it for now. Something like that. Oh, wow, that looks awesome. That axle needs to be way higher in order to get the right look we're going for. It's gotta be the same height as this one is to here. So this one is 32 to roughly 35. So 9 inches subtract 3 inches. It needs to be 6 inches off the table. Because the body is essentially on the table right now. We want this bar 6 inches off the table. Before we build any axle plates, we're gonna support the back end here with a bar across here because the motor is likely gonna go right here. The engine motor, same thing. And then we can figure out how we wanna go, maybe up and over, and then have the bearings hang from the top plate and go down. Something like that. We'll figure it out as we go. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All right, this is the piece we're gonna be mounting the bearings to on the top side of this, and then we'll eventually brace them on the bottom side as well. But I had to build these with the stands kicked down right here because the seat actually sits almost in this spot, and any further I would have to start cutting out the plastic body. So as you can see, they kick down right beside the seat there, and afterwards we're gonna have to build a bar that goes across from here and then up to here to support the back right there. But for now, we can get our bearings in and we can actually get an axle sitting in there at least. One more time, test fit in the body. Oh, stupid shaft. I think that's gonna fit in there too. We're gonna add a bar in the middle right here. This is gonna give us a spot to mount our motor plate to from here to here, and then something to bolt our motor into. I know it's called an engine, but I like calling it a motor. And then we'll have to build a chain that goes from here to there. Pretty easy. We'll put a brake on this side somewhere maybe. So I've got the engine on our piece of plate. I haven't welded a piece of plate on there yet, just in case that isn't gonna fit. But that's essentially our setup right here. It looks so cool. I don't know how I'm gonna incorporate a wing and stuff, but we've got to make the back end flow a little bit better. Like a wing on there would look totally awesome, I think. There's the engine mounted. We don't have a ton of room for a clutch. I know this style clutch right here will fit, but other than that, we don't have much room for a clutch. So tightly packaged, if need be, I'll add a support somewhere right here, and then I can cut this piece out right here. It's coming along really nicely. I don't even know if this engine starts, to be honest. I've never even tried it. Maybe that is worth looking into. Is there even oil on this dipstick? Yes, actually. Is there fuel in this engine? Yes, actually. And honestly, worst case, this engine doesn't run, in which case this would not be the first project we built something around an engine that doesn't run. Our lawnmower, for example, we just had to rebuild the engine. I know this is basically the same dimensions as like the Princess Auto 420 engine, so worst case scenario, we'll get one of those, but it'd be nice to have an actual Honda engine in something. Even if we have to take it apart and modify it, I think this will be the ticket to making 30 plus horsepower in this little thing. Okay, well, we know which one starts it. I didn't have the engine bolted down, so maybe we'll bolt it down a little bit. Well, that ain't good. Do we want to dig into this right now? Probably not. Yeah, so we were just tinkering around here. Dan came over and Isaac came over, and we're like, maybe we should try to get this thing running. And we don't know anything about anything, but we do know that if you spray brake clean in it and it runs, you probably got fuel issues. So we probably got fuel issues because it works if you add fuel. So we know the engine works. I guess it's time to take the cobby off and clean it. To the best of my abilities, I have no idea how they work. It appeared like there was engine oil in the carburetor, so possibly someone had this like tipped upside down and somehow oil from the base made its way into the carburetor. I didn't change out the fuel in it, but let's give it a quick little shot here, see if it runs. Fuel on, choke off, hit the battery. I'm basically a mechanic right now. Who would have thunk? YouTube mechanic. We put a brake disc in here. We made a quick, simple bracket to hold the brake caliper on. That's gonna fit in there and get welded to the bottom. I kind of want to keep this area open in case you put a supercharger on it. Easy cakes. I can even tie that into the bracket if I want up here. Probably not gonna do that, but I could. All right, added a couple bars here to join up the frame to pass the point we welded, just to give it some strength on the piece where we connected the two pieces of pipe. So from here forward is gonna remain the way it was. And if you'll notice, Hog Jogger Dan is in the background over here. We picked the CBR 250 for 200 bucks. It doesn't exactly run, but if we can get that engine to run, that's a steal for 200 bucks. So what should we put it in? I have no idea, but we couldn't let that one pass us by. I'm gonna disassemble this now so I can weld up the back part completely, then we can bolt our motor in, put a chain on it, do all the things we need to do in the back half for final assembly. Definitely not a professional welder, but that'll do. Okay, everything's all welded up. TIG welding takes a mountain more time than MIG welding to do, but it just comes out so much nicer. So once you've gone to TIG welding, it's hard to go back to MIG welding when you know the results of what a TIG weld looks like. We're gonna flip this thing over, get the engine put in, the axle put in, get a chain on it, get the tires mounted. We'll be able to take this thing for a ride soon, I think. I haven't quite worked out the brake situation yet. Hog Jogger Dan came over in jeans, which is weird. Brought the bead blaster thing. We're gonna try and mount these wheels because I've got almost everything ready to go here to just put a chain on it now and it'll be good. We need a throttle cable and brakes, but those aren't important.
We can make those up.
I can't wait to see you blow your face off.
Hold on to this thing and start going once you...
No, I'll go.
That didn't work. Take two. Take. Attempt 5 is the... Attempt 6, but on the other tire this time?
Other tire, slightly scratched.
Jeez Louise.
Did it even like it might have wanted?
I don't know. I probably have a slow-mo for that. Done frigging around with these tires. Putting some tubes in them. Well, I ended up popping one tube because the valve stem's right in the middle and I could only put the valve stem offset, so I have to get another tube, but we've got one mounted.
That looks cool.
I went ahead and I disassembled the big starter switch thing that was here. We're gonna get rid of that. We're just gonna take like the little tumbler piece out of it, and we're gonna make a little plate and wire that up down here so we can at least turn the thing off while we're driving if need be. Some reason the throttle gets stuck or whatever. We're gonna wire that in there instead of having this big bulky thing. This thing weighs like 3 pounds, by the way. And it looks dumb back here. Just gotta figure out the wires, take out all the unnecessary fuses that we don't need, because who needs fuses, and then just wire that up so it turns the motor over, basically. All the unnecessary stuff taken out. That's the ground, that's the power to like the coil, that's the 12-volt power, and then this one is the one that actually starts the starter. Something like that. Here's our wiring. It's done pretty quickly. Just runs through here all the way to the back, splits apart, and then it goes to wherever. But if we did this correctly, the engine should turn over. Might also possibly start, I don't know. That is actually a little concerning that it doesn't start. So now I need to know why it's not starting. Everything appears to be hooked up. Is it just a choke issue right now? It's just a choke issue. All right, we've got key power. Now all we need is the throttle pedal, and we're done. Let's do that. Last piece of the puzzle done here. Very, very simple setup. This is our throttle pedal. Now what after feels like forever, let's go out and try it. Now bear with me here, it is snowing a little bit out and we're in Canada, so it is what it is. First things first, let's fire this thing up. Don't have a battery hooked up to it yet, so that's the best we've got for now. I think that clutch is fried. That's not good. Oops. Well, all that work, and I'm pretty sure this clutch is toasted because we did have this clutch on another trike before. And I thought I just had to reverse the rotations on it. Turns out it doesn't work at all. So here it is in all its glory, new engine on it, and I promise you, next time we come back, we'll have a good clutch on it. And if you want to see us rip this next time, make sure to like the video. Peace easy, get heavy.